about now? No, not that one. How about now? My boy has a voice. Literally don't know what I did wrong or different. Everything is exactly the same as it was before. I didn't unplug anything. I just ended it and then I went back into it and I saw green dots and I went, green dots, that's good. Dude, I was certain that was some next level trolling from our audience there. I was so certain that that was just people fucking with me. I was so sure. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. But like, hey, at least we know for the future that if it fucks up, you just like end it. And that's it, I guess, and start again. There's a few people here, so we might as well just start. Welcome back to A Hero Story Live, episode 2. I'm your host, Harper, alone again this week. Who knows what the future might hold? And thank you to everyone who tuned in last week. I did kind of a silly thing where instead of uploading the live as it was, I edited it as a new video and like uploaded it proper again. Which means we kind of missed out on all the comments and all the views that were in the original video. But a lot of you guys tuned in and it was fucking awesome. And then obviously now we've made the Discord server and we're up to like 70 something people in the Discord server and it's going off. And I am super duper thankful for that. Yeah, 74 people currently in there. Actually, shit, I should post the link for this live stream in the thing to let people know. But yeah, everyone that's joined the Discord, everyone that's currently hanging out there and talking about stuff, genuinely thank you. It's so cool. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna post that in the chat. I'm going to post it on the A Hero story. Oh, is that a good photo? What do we think, chat? How's that? All right. Any questions or anything? I am currently unsure whether or not A Hero Story Live will return next week. So this might be it for a little bit. I don't know. Live stream 2. There we go. Post that on the story. That's so stupid looking, dude. That's so dumb looking. All right, cool. How am I feeling about the Discord server? No, genuinely love it. I know I've just spoken about it a little bit there, but seeing like, I don't know, seeing everyone just like chatting. I wake up in the morning and look, and there's just like 50 messages in different threads about people talking about whatever, and it's so cool. I've sort of dipped my toes in there and said a few things. I've tried not to like be constantly talking in there because I think even though it's a hero story Discord, I think people will get sick of hearing me after a while. So whatever. I got a few things that I want to bring up, some things that I've been reading, some things that I'm gonna read, some little hints about the podcast this week. But I'll also take some questions. Gold Ninja fan, just had my first day of student teaching. Any advice? I'm so tired. Man, get used to that cycle. Like, to be brutally honest, that feeling of you get up, you go there within the first hour, you're like, oh fuck. And then like after the day, you're just like, dude, I am spent. That is an ongoing thing. And realistically, you're just gonna have to manage like how you operate life outside of that. Because for me, I mean, I said it in the last live stream. I work 3 days and I get paid a very good teacher salary, which allows me to only work those 3 days, which is incredibly fucking lucky. I'm seriously fortunate. And then the other 4 days, either I do some part time work or I just have an extra long weekend, and I use that time to do whatever the fuck I want, man. Just like make that all about me and my fiance and our home, and that's it. Don't worry about anything else because you got to just take care of yourself. People do not realize, well, I may assume they do. I mean, people have kids, so they would know this, but like teaching just drains it out of you, man. Like not even dealing with kids, but like talking to them the whole day, non-stop, fielding questions. It's a lot, dude. It like it's genuinely like taxing on the soul, which is kind of why I want to quit. But yeah, you just got to manage that kind of like You gotta manage those energy levels, man. Make sure you, like, eat food, and I would say drink coffee. I have this terrible thing where, like, because I try to diet and I try to, like, maintain weight loss, I eat fuck all, and it actually like, it makes things in my teaching way fucking worse, because I'm just so run down because I do not have the energy because I haven't consumed enough stuff. So yeah, I guess that's my advice. Okay. Sweet. That's on the story. All right. Some things I want to talk about. I want to talk about a little bit about some comic books because I just caught up. And by caught up, I mean read the first 4 issues. Yeah, meal prep, man. That's legit. I read the first 4 issues of the current Ryan North Fantastic Four. Now that it's gone back to issue 1, and I read it mainly because I saw like I was like, oh, okay, Doom's in the first issue. Like I'll give that a I'll give that a read. I'll give that a look. I'll see what's going on there. And like, I don't know that I was expecting the first 3 issues of that book to be like not an all-time Doom story, but like a really like weirdly better than One World Under Doom. Which is so like that's so strange that Ryan North has so much sauce and yet One World Under Doom is so disappointing. And basically, spoilers for Fantastic Four 2025 issues 1 through 3. But book starts. Doctor Doom as Emperor Doom is fighting the Fantastic Four, and he's kind of getting trounced, and it's awesome. Better than Doom 2099. Nothing's better than Doom 2099, brother. Nothing's better than that. Yeah, he's basically like getting trounced by the Fantastic Four, and he's like, you know what, fuck this, I'm done with it, I'm not happy. And then he just like he uses a spell and he sends all the Fantastic Four, scatters them through time to different periods. So like Johnny is in like the world before life had formed on it, and oxygen is like 20% of what it is now. Ben's with the dinosaurs in the Cretaceous period. Reed is in like medieval times, and then Sue is in like the far future where like the sun has melted the planet and everything's about to die. And he just, yeah, Doom scatters them all through there, and he's just like, you know, let them figure that shit out. And it was like, okay, this is really cool. And then the rest of that first issue and the second issue is just it's the Fantastic Four looking for this thing called the Forever Stone, which is basically just a rock, uh, but a rock that has existed throughout all of time, unchanged, unmoved, undamaged. It's just a constant thing from early in time to into the future. And so Reed has used it as this, you know, if anyone gets lost in time, carve your, you know, carve where you are or your, you know, the time that you're in, the exact time and coordinates, and then we in the future can, you know, pull out the time sled and come and get you from that exact point. It's such a cool idea. Like it's like the, you know, the lightning rod, I guess. Does that really work? I don't know. It's like a fixed point. It's a fixed thing that the Fantastic Four know that they can converge on and get saved through time. And so Johnny finds it, carves his name and time into it, or not name, but it carves the time into it. Oh no, he does carve his name. What the fuck am I talking about? Then Ben does, and then Reed does, and then realize, okay, Sue's not on here yet. She's the furthest in time. She's the one that's going to have to like piece it together. And then Sue can't find the Forever Stone, and it's like, how is she going to go back and say? And at this point, I had a lot of questions. I'm like, how does this time? Like, how are they going to get the time sled? Like, how are they going to go back and do it? Whatever. Um, but yeah, Sue's the one looking for the Forever Stone in the future to try and bring everyone back, and she can't. And Reed back in the medieval times is like, something must be up. Like, what can I do to try and like help her find it? Sing the entirety of Big Iron. I don't even know what that is, Hunter. Big Iron. Do I know what that is? Anyway, so Reed, and it's freaky as fuck, dude. He basically stretches himself throughout like the entire Earth. Basically, look at this fucking panel. Stretches himself out through like the entire Earth to find pretty much every diamond he can, so that he can create like a giant like set of points, like pointing arrows that are pointing to where the Forever Stone is on Earth. And Sue basically says like this would have taken a lifetime. This is like a lifetime labor of love. From Reed, the man that I love, and it's so poetic. I read that part to my fiance, and she cried. It's so good. And so then we get the explanation. Sue's like, "Oh, Reed hid the time sled in like a pocket outside of time that whoever the furthest in the future was could reach it and then go back and save the others." And so she does, and it's really cool. And they show back up right at the moment that they left, and they're like, hey, Doomsy, fucking fuck you, dude." And Doom is just like, "Excellent. I'm glad you're back. How did you do it?" And Reed explains it, and he's just like, "Oh, Reed, you couldn't help do this segment where the Doom mask's up there, man. I don't want to have to get that. That's really far away. That's actually like 100 meters back that way. It's just forced perspective because this is directed by Peter Jackson. Yeah, Doom like Reed basically explains what they did. Oh yeah, we carved our names into the Forever Stone. We used the time sled to come back and all of that kind of shit. And Doom's like, brilliant. I'm gonna reset time again. And then we realize that every time Doom is sending them back, he wants them to kind of succeed and come back and have Reed, because Reed does have a bit of ego about him, have Reed explain how they came back so that Doom can go, excellent, reset time again, because he's got all the Sorcerer Supreme shit. Reset time again, and then change those events so they can't come back the same way. And so he sends them back again, and it's so like Reed's realization. He's like, oh my god, every time that we're winning, you are just using this against us to come up with the way to defeat us next time. And so he basically kills them, and then they manage to, right before they are incinerated, they send the time sled back in time, and Sue has like indented braille onto the side of it with her powers, which is that's pretty cool. So that the past Fantastic Four are like, okay, this is what Doom's doing. This is what we're going to do to stop him. He must have a machine. Let's go and figure out what he's doing with the machine to and try and stop it. And so they do, and they go back and they fucks with it. And dude, some of the art here. Oh man, this is the part where where Doom like reveals that he's in on it the whole time. He's just you could never resist an opportunity to show off fire, dude. Robert Downey Jr. Could never do that. So Doom shows up, he's trouncing them. Johnny uses his Nova Flame to to basically sketch something on the ice in front of Reed, turn his restores into saves. So they fuck up the machine so that Doom can no longer reset time, or like he can no longer restore it to where he wants. He's basically restoring it back to the point where they fucked with it. And it restores at a point where Ben is punching Doom and knocking his helmet off and going, "You want to bet, Doomy?" And that's cool. And then Doom is like, fuck this. Like, I will not suffer this. I'm going to reset time. And then he does, and he gets punched in the face again. And then he resets again and gets punched in the face again. And he's just like, fuck you. They've fucked up my machine. And then there's just a page where it's just him getting punched like millions of times, trying to like figure out how do I get out of this scenario. And then eventually realizing that he can't. And dude, it was so fucking cool. Those first three issues are super cool. It looks like the next arc is going to be cool too. I It's one of those things like I'll probably catch up if I hear things about it. There are a few comics that I like want to read and I want to catch up on. But I'm sort of just jumping around at the moment. At the moment, I'm reading Dwayne McDuffie's Fantastic for like this arc just after Civil War. Another time story, another Doom story. Fuck it, just yeah. There are some things that I'm going to there are some things that I'm going to jump into that I am not going to mention on here because I'll save it for the podcast. Harper, show them my dinner. Our one and only Tyler has sent this in. One would assume that he didn't make that; he's bought that because I don't know if you guys know this. Tyler is a really, really bad cook. Like a yeah, tragically bad cook. So yeah, I assume he's ordered that. Yeah, okay, sorry, I'll scroll up. There's probably a couple. Is Armor Wars worth reading? Yeah, dude, I love it. I love it. It's great. Genuine. I mean, it's right. It's like Michelini's peak Iron Man. I mean, you read Armor Wars, and then 15 issues later, he does the sequel to Doom Quest. And then don't get me wrong, the stories in between that are fine. I mean, he teams up with Spider-Man. There's some good shit in there. Michelini's second Michelini, um, Michelini, who knows? But his second run is fucking fire, dude. Um, that's a pretty cool premise. Not an FF fan, but it would be something worth checking out. You know, I didn't think I was an FF fan because I loved Doom already, but I loved Doom from a lot of either solo stuff or Iron Man related stuff, or just him showing up in shit. Uh, and I didn't think I really cared about the Fantastic Four all that much until I last year committed to like I'll do like some big Fantastic Four reading. And then was like, "Oh, Fantastic Four are fucking sick, dude. They're really cool." Like, I don't think they could be my favorites. They're certainly not making it on like my top 10 list or anything. But I really, yeah, I was surprised how much I like them. Uh, Ryan North on Flash thoughts, dude. That's so cool. That's so cool. Ryan, I back him for a lot of things. It's why I don't really understand why One World Under Doom was so lackluster and so fine. Because he's got the sauce. Like he such a weird comment. He's got the sauce. But he does like character dynamic. Like it's weird. When you open a Ryan North book, there are times where you see the page and you see how much dialogue's on there, and it's like, holy fucking novel, Batman. Like this is a page from a book. And then when you read it, it's so easy to read. It's like early Bendis. It's like, mid 2000s Bendis, where there's a lot of dialogue on the page and you zip through it just because it's like really well written. It's like that stuff constantly surprises me because I'm always expecting to be like, oh, fucking. I mean, there is a lot of read explaining science shit and it just goes on. But like, yeah, it's a super easy read. Um, I feel like the Fantastic Four and the Flash family are very similar. I agree. It's like lineage sort of stuff. I do love the Flash family. How big is it now? I don't know. I haven't caught up on Flash in like what 2 years. I'll say this. I'll be reading some DC stuff soon, which is cool. I haven't read DC in a minute, mainly because DC. Oh man, DC fucked me so hard with Wally West. It sounds bad. They fucked me tremendously hard with Wally West, where they borderline ruined the character that at the time I loved most. I think for those 2 years, Wally West was my favorite, just overall. And they fucked around with him so much. And then by the time they gave him everything back, they gave him Linda and the kids and everything. I was just like, I don't know that I care anymore. Like I was happy for him to have his life back, but like I as a reader felt so like annoyed that like once he got them back, I was like, all right, fine, I'm done. Like I didn't want to continue on because I didn't trust them. But it seems like Wally's had a pretty good run. So I will get back into it eventually. There's some DC stuff I'm gonna get back into and some new stuff that I will try. Uh like per my Doctor Doom kind of reading, I'm sort of just leaving it for a moment because I'm like, I've read so much shit that now I'm just scrounging for like random Doom appearances in other things, which is like on top of all the other random little Doom appearances I've read in fucking Spider-Man and Sword and Guardians and whatever the fuck. And Venom, those Venom issues were fire though. I think I'm kind of happy to move on and do something else for a little bit. I have a bunch of Loki books saved, some that I've read, and some that I haven't. Uh, from more recent ones that I would like to read because I love Loki and I haven't caught up with him in 3 years or so. Even though hot take, actually, comic book Loki doesn't do as much for me as the movie one does, but I still like comic book. Like I read Thor, Latvian Prometheus the other day, Doctor Doom, Loki team up. That book's fucked up. That book's fucked up. Anyway, I'll go back to reading some questions. I'm scatterbrained as hell. Why did I think you were going to say I'm reading Dwayne the Rock Johnson? If he released a comic book, dude, I would be buying the blind bag. No, I wouldn't. That's a lie. Favorite Iron Man reads. also Extremis worth reading. All right. Okay. Here's hot take time. I need a drink of water for this one. Extremis is a book that I think you could read like you are 3 years old and don't understand writing, and you'll get the same amount of enjoyment. You do not need to read that book. You can look at Granov's art, and I'm not just saying this because it's Warren Ellis and fuck Warren Ellis and all of that. Um, but you don't need to read it. It's an art book, really. There's some cool moments, but also it's a book that if it was entirely without dialogue, I think it would be just as good. So it's a very easy read. You'll read it in like fucking like 5 minutes. It's so quick. It's definitely nowhere near my top faves. Top faves. I mean, they cycle around a bit. You know, I love Denny O'Neil. You know, I love that era of Tony Stark being drunk and Obadiah Stane taking over the company and Rhodey becoming Iron Man and them fighting and everything. That is so good. Michelini's second run, way better than his first run. First run's decent. First run has good stuff in it, but it's also an era where things are incredibly overwritten, and I think Michelini learnt that lesson with books as he went on because his second run is not near like it's dialogue heavy, but it's not nearly as like. And here comes Namor, the Submariner, and like a paragraph description of who he is as a character. Like I can't fucking see him. Michelini's second run, great. Len Kaminsky's, I love it, dude. It's a '90s Iron Man series. The art is fucking incredible. Every issue, something is happening. He's like, fuck it, I'm fighting the Hulk. I'm fighting Venom. I'm fighting someone else. He's always fighting someone. There's always a cameo. You know how much I love cameos. I love aura and hype moments and cameos. So that's great. I also love that Kurt Busiek, Roger Stern run, the first 25 issues of the Iron Man 1998. That has some of the cleanest art of any oh, Harper show them my dinner. This is Hunter's photo. I'm gonna assume he ordered out. I'm gonna assume he didn't make those. But it's more likely that Hunter made those than Tyler making that, because Tyler just does not have the skill level to make something like that. Yeah, Sean Chen was the dude that did the art on that Kurt Busiek, Roger Stern, Iron Man. And it's just fucking, dude, it's so clean. It's so clean, dude. Look at it. Look at it. It's so clean. There's one like page in particular, and it would take me way too long to find. Oh, bro, look at this. God, this really is just me. Look at this, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, there's one page in particular of Tony Stark in like a turtleneck in a log cabin. And dude, it's hot. What can I say? It's hot. That's probably the most famous picture from that arc. It's so good. What? They were cooking. Anyway, director of Shield, which is the North one, Knauf, North, the North brother son duology. I like Director of Shield a lot. I like Execute Programs before that is okay. It's fine. It's a weird lead into Civil War. Like that story is Tony's armor gets taken over by the son of Jensen, I think. And his armor is made to kill people, which that happened in Demon in a Bottle as well, but whatever. And then at the end of that story, he's just like, they took my armor and they use it against people, and I'm not happy with that. Anyway, we need a superhuman registration act. And it's like, whoa, okay. Sure, man. I don't know how you connected point A to point B there, but sure, if that's your justification, you go for it. Um, yeah, the director of Shield, the North run, that's really good. I love that run. It's dark, it's grim, it's Tony dealing with all the Civil War fallout, but it's I love it. I think it's great. Matt Fraction run as well. Fantastic, probably the best on the character, arguably. I wouldn't say it's the clear best, but it's arguably the best. I love the Bendis one. That run's good. The Kieran Gillen one, blech. Dan Slott, blech. Christopher Cantwell. There's some other little good ones in between, but yeah. Um, yeah, I just talked about Iron Man there, didn't I? I was glad to hear your thoughts on Chip's Captain America. I also enjoyed a lot, and that's my first Captain America run. I'm mostly a DC reader. Very excited for tomorrow's issue. Yeah, there is a new issue. A new issue today for me, which is cool. Comic books tend to come out at like 3 p.m. here on well, it'll be Tuesday for you guys. It's Wednesday for me, but come out on stuff, which is cool. Um, Eat shit, America. Sorry. Mostly a DC reader, dude. I haven't again, I've been mostly a Marvel reader for like 2, 3 years, but like before that, I was more DC than I was Marvel easily. Even though more of my favorite characters were Marvel, I read way more DC, especially like pre like Doomsday Clock. I reckon from like the, you know, that Final Crisis era to there. I read so much shit for no reason. I read fucking New 52 Teen Titans, dude. I just read whatever. I read whatever when it came to DC. Top 5 or 10 comic book castings, actors and voice actors. Dude, that's a fucking good question. Okay. Now we can do this. Okay. Let's knock out some easy ones, right? We'll go RDJ as Iron Man. He's the GOAT. If you want to put in oh my god, a bit no, Billy. Oh fuck, what is that dude's name? That's so upsetting. I want to say Billy Loomis, but that's the killer from Scream, isn't it? Eric Loomis, maybe? Eric Loomis? Eric Loomis. Let's see. Mm, yes, Eric Loomis is the dude that voiced Tony in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. You put him and RDJ sort of neck and neck. I'm probably picking RDJ because like what he does with that character in live action is I'm not saying it's perfect, but like there's a lot more to it. He's not relying on as many people. Well, I guess he is. He's still relying on a director and an editor and a screenwriter and all of that. But I'm putting that just above. In Earth's Mightiest Heroes, we've got Graham McTavish as Loki, which is great. He's so good. I love Graham McTavish, but Tom Hiddleston is that's the peak for me. He's just the best. Like I said before, I love comic book Loki. I read a lot of Loki when I was younger. I read a lot of Loki because of the movies, and I still think the movie version is cooler. Um, I think that's why, because he's cooler. Because comic book Loki, as much as I love him, he's such a piece of shit, dude. He really annoys. I know I say that as a Doctor Doom fan, but Loki fucking he gets on my nerves, dude. He gets on my nerves. I love him, but he gets on my fucking nerves. The dude sucks. All right, if we go RDJ, we go Tom Hiddleston. Um, let's go out of left. Actually, this isn't out of left field. Kevin Conroy Batman. It's the best Batman. It is just the best Batman. How many spots did I have? Top 10. I can work with top 10. Top 5 is tight, dude. But if we go RDJ, we go Hiddle. I'll just write Hiddle. We go Conroy. Who else? Oh, Charlie Cox, Daredevil. That's a big one. I do not think that can be topped. I really don't, especially at this point. Like he has defined that character so much. I've said this before. He, in my mind, is the closest to the comic book in terms of how much I love them and how much they mean to me. I love RDJ. I love Iron Man, those movies and stuff. But I think TV Daredevil is the closest to the gold standard. Yeah, okay. Who I want to? This is maybe a hot take. Christopher Daniel Barnes, Spider-Man. That's probably nostalgia talking, but I love that Spider-Man animated series as a kid, and I just love his Spider-Man voice so much. I mean, oh, fuck, it's so hard. There's so many I can just rattle off. I mean, we're talking about comic book casting. Like, I guess, like, you would say, like Ledger as the Joker, even though it's not really, the Joker proper that you think of, but, like, I'm taking Heath Ledger Joker over any fucking Joker, like, any day of the week, man. Easily the best. So I guess that maybe? I don't know, man. It feels wrong. I'm gonna say no live action Batman. I'm gonna say none of them. That might be harsh. I'm gonna say none of them. You could say like Wilson Bethel as Bullseye. He's fucking unbelievable. You could say Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. You could say, nah, I don't think. Oh, is this a hot take? I don't think John Bernthal's Punisher is on the same level as Wilson Bethel, Bullseye, and Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin. I don't think they're on the same level. He's good. He is good, but I don't think he's on the same level as those. And maybe casting, like he's good casting, but like I feel like the Punisher is one you can still have arguments about. Like like you could argue, oh, I actually prefer Ray Stevenson, and I think that's a fair argument. And I think there are genuinely good arguments there about like the writing of that character and how they act. I think there's actual conversation there, which a lot of the others there's nothing. Maybe I'm just thinking of this because I'm looking at a few hot toys of him, but Benedict as Doctor Strange, that's just personal to me. I think there is like someone else could do that role equally as well, but I love him as Strange, dude. I love him as Strange. Oh my god, dude, I've got it. Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes. I just wrote Rick Grimes. Didn't even think of that. I just wrote Andrew Rick. That'll do. And by that same token, fuck, you could genuinely do like Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan. I know like the writing for that character is not perfect, but in terms of performance and casting, he's pretty fucking good, dude. All right, I'm gonna leave that there. I did what? RDJ, Tom Hiddleston, Kevin Conroy, Charlie Cox, Christopher Daniel Barnes, Heath Ledger, and Andrew Rick. Yeah, I've been very lucky and very blessed with like the characters that I care about in terms of adaptations. Because currently, and I say currently because you never know, but currently none of the live action adaptations of the characters I love are played by weirdos. They're not played by weird fucking like pedophiles, Epstein Island clients, fucking genocide deniers. None of them are like, shitty people. None of them are like, shitty to the extent where I can't look at them, like a Kevin Spacey or something. Um, like that'd be tough. Like if my favorite character was fucking Lex Luthor and the only live action version was Spacey, I'd be like, fuck, man. Fuck. None of them are shit. All the performances are good. Generally, all the products are good. Like, Daredevil in terms of like his live actions. I mean, obviously the Affleck shit doesn't count, but in terms of that, the original show is the best thing since fucking sliced bread. It's like something JD would say. And like, the Born Again I really liked. His episode of She-Hulk, I think, is great. Iron Man, I think Iron Man has not appeared in a bad movie. He's appeared in a couple like, they're okay movies. Never appeared in a bad movie. Doctor Strange, same deal. Um, Thrawn, I got very lucky with. A lot of characters that I love have had adaptations that I'm like, okay, cool. I luckily like Superman fans. You had Reeve, and that's true. And then really you were just picking from like, oh, I like Brandon Routh a bit. And Henry Cavill had promise, he looked good, but the writing was shit. And there's the CW stuff and the Smallville, but he never really becomes Superman. And so before Corin Sweat, it felt like searching for crumbs, dude. Like you've eaten off crumbs. I recently subscribed to. I'm going to do some questions. I'm back. Sorry. Brad Gamble, I recently subscribed to DC Infinite and Marvel Unlimited. That's goated as hell. Finally got to read The Return of Barry Allen. Might be the best book I've ever read. Yes, man. Yes, it is. Tyler doesn't like that book. I don't get. Well, he doesn't. Sorry. He'll call me and get really angry if he's listening to this. He doesn't think it's as good as people think. He thinks that if people say that's the best Flash book, then the Flash can't be that good, which is a dumb opinion. It's about as dumb as Revenge of the Sith is as good as Captain Marvel or whatever. Weird takes. But when I read The Return of Barry Allen, I was early enough in my life that I loved the Flash and I loved Reverse Flash. Spoilers for the next 45 seconds of The Return of Barry Allen. Just tune this off, headphones off, turn the volume down, whatever you have to do, just to skip these spoilers. starting now. When I read that book, dude, I spent like 6 issues being like, "Dude, I wonder if Barry is gonna, like, end up being Eobard." And I thought it when I thought that, it felt like a pipe dream, like, it felt like, "Oh, I want this to happen, and therefore, like, maybe it's a chance." I didn't actually think it was. And then we started getting the reveals of, like, the diary and the time travel elements, and I was like, it's actually gonna be him." And then we get that reveal, and by that point, you know it's going to be because he's a loose unit. But dude, when you get that reveal, I was like, this is the best comic book ever fucking written, dude. Like, if you care about those characters, that reveal is amazing. The end of that fight is amazing. Wally looking at the audience is amazing. Anyway, yeah, that's good stuff. Brad Gamble, crazy that Wally has 3 kids and Barry isn't even married. What the fuck are they doing over there, dude? I love both of those characters, but Barry Barry is best off like I don't know. Does Barry need to be no, not like a man, not the computer guy for the Flash, not like the Cisco Ramon, but like Barry needs to be doing other things, or like he needs to be retired in the future with Iris and with kids, like pre-crisis sort of deal. Because yeah, that's so bizarre. God, I love Wally West, man. I miss Wally West so much. Man. Brandon Franco recently finished Batman and Robin Year One. Highly recommend it. It really deserves all the praise. Wade never misses. Has Wade ever missed? I don't know that Wade has ever missed on a thing that I have read. No, I really don't think he has. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was going to pin that, but I'm saving it for Voss Water is the goat of water. So this bottle, I reckon it's probably like 8 months old, dude. This is not like I do drink it, but I buy Voss for the water bottle. Sorry to disappoint you. Thoughts on the Godzilla Romeo and Juliet crossover? I'm just gonna give that a Google. What does that mean? Romeo and Juliet. This feels like the Make America Grot again of this episode. Romeo and Juliet, Godzilla. What are we talking about here? Godzilla's Monster Piece Theater presents Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla. Comic adds monsters to Shakespearean tragedy. Oh, that's fun. Okay. I did not hear about this at all. Wow, that's so weird. Okay. Okay, sure. I'll read it for the show. That's very interesting. Oh, that art is actually fire, dude. No, I don't want 15% off. Wow, that art looks so good. Look at that. Look at that, man. I love Godzilla, man. Very excited for Minor Zero. That looks cool. Is that just a preview or is that the whole thing? Oh, no, that's the preview. Okay. Love Godzilla. That's cool. I didn't know that was a thing. That's cool. Don't care. Talk about Martian Manhunter. Um, Perhaps we will. Hunter, perhaps we will. Oh my god, there's a lot of comments. Whoopsie. Sorry. Okay, we're catching up. White Skull Media. I just read Extremis in the last 2 weeks and thought it was fine. The art definitely carried. Understood why they got Granoff to work on the movie. Correct. That is the correct opinion. It's weird that it was the comic that people went, if you're gonna read anything Iron Man, you got to read Extremis. And I think that was just because Iron Man 3 was coming out at the time. But even when I was younger, I was just like, it's not the best Iron Man story. It's a weird take. Um, Hunter produces Timbits. I think he has more talent to produce Timbits than Tyler does to produce whatever he was eating. I'm just saying. Ronald McDonald, woo, just got here. Woo, please stay. Keep the view count up. Avery McKinnon, what's a comic you read that you wish you hadn't? Oh, uh, Identity Crisis. The like 2 or 3 issues of Crossed that I read like 5 years ago because I saw people being like, "Oh, it's actually really good. It's like gross and it's sick, but it's actually really good." And then it wasn't. Yeah, God, anything with stuff like that. I guess this is such a random one. The Furiosa Mad Max Fury Road spin-off comic, just awful. It's awful and it doesn't make sense with the movie. Like it doesn't fit the continuity of that movie even before the Furiosa movie came out. Like it's gross, dude. It's really Oh man, not to sound too woke or anything, but it's such a oh, this is a book about women written by a man. Like it's like weirdly fetishizing the like Immortan Joe's brides and shit. It's just fucking foul, dude. Just shit. Just garbage. Yeah. So there's a few answers, I guess. Oh, Civil War. Fuck Civil War. Civil War sucks, dude. Is my hot take that Civil War 2 is better? I don't know if it is, but it's certainly easy to read. White Skull Media, I've been reading Iron Man for almost a year now, from 115 to 275. Yo, you've covered what? Starting pretty much at the first Michelini run all the way up to is that Len Kaminsky, dude? 7.5. That's past John Burns' fucking Armor Wars 2 garbage. That's got to be in the Kaminsky era, dude. 275. Is that like War Machine? Oh no, that's that Mandarin arc. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, that's a hell of a read, brother. Well done. Holy Moses. Wow. Now on Director of Shield. Now hang on. You read from 115 to 275. Did you finish Kaminsky's run? And also did you then go on to the Mike Grell run? And then did you read that Kurt Busiek Roger Stern one? Because the Mike Grell one, whatever. But you got to read that Kurt Busiek one, man. That's the best. My favorite run by far was O'Neill's, and I liked how Tony's alcoholism was handled there over Demon in a Bottle. Yeah, correct. Deliverance. I got 2 copies of that single issue somewhere in there. I made my fiance read it, and she liked it. I think. Who knows? But yeah, that Iron Man 182. The alleyway with the snow and in the morning, Tony Stark will be sober or dead. It's such a good issue, dude. That's one of those issues that makes you like reflect on yourself as a person. So good. Kyle, Absolute Martian Manhunter is so good. I think if they focus on the powers that make him different, the shape shifting and the mind reading, I think mainline DC book about him would do so well. I agree. What Martian Manhunter needs is a rogues gallery. I don't read enough Martian Manhunter to know how true that is, but I think that's cool. I think it's cool that book is so loved. I think that's really cool. Yeah, DC stuff. We'll talk about it soon. Brandon, have you ever been interested in reading Berserk? No, but I read Berserk, which is the Keanu Reeves book. So that's something, I guess. Gage. I've probably said that wrong. Gage. CDB is the best Spider-Man of all time. Easy. CDB. I don't know the acronym. CDB would be Craven's Last Dance. I don't know what that is. No, I'm sorry, dude. White Skull Media, what did you think of the Iron Man tribute video? Did I watch it? Hold up, let me check the gram, dude. Harper come back after the live stream fail. Shout out to the people that were there for the fucking failed live stream, dude. That was awesome. No, I haven't watched it yet. I will watch it though. I watched that fucking that spectacular Spider-Man one, and that was fire. I will watch this one and give you my feedback once again. Nick Heasters in Absolute Martian Manhunter. When the Martian goes, John, the power of empathy, because that's the thing police officers don't have. Nick Heasters woke everyone. Nicholas Dookie, I'm here now, Mr. Harper. It's a doctor to you. Brandon, Robert Downey Jr. as Damian Wayne in the DCU, perfect casting. I think he could do it. Yeah, I believe that. Kev Dork, hello. Hi. White Skull Media, message redacted. Retracted, technically. So it's not redacted, but still. Release those files, dude. Nicholas Doogie, RDJ as Black Lightning is a good casting. I'm not going to make any comments. Tropic Thunder is a good movie, though. I'll say that. Kev Dog, Iron Man's corpse appeared in Far From Home. Does that count as a bad appearance? Well, it's not on the appearances list. Maybe one day I'll show you guys this document that I have had for literally 11 years of my life. I have saved every copy of it, and since, like, it just has all of my favorite I'll go now. I'm gonna look in the folder now. I'm gonna tell you how old the oldest version I have is. 2016. Okay. Okay. 2016. It's still 10 years of my life that I've just had a document that categorizes my favorite characters and my favorite appearances of said characters. Yeah, there's got to be a diagnosis there, dude. But that Iron Man appearance, his corpse, it's a dream sequence, so it's not really him, and so I don't include it on the list. I also I don't include like hints or like photos of characters or whatever. Like it actually has to be them, and it has to be a story. Like I could never include like Fortnite Doctor Doom or something. Like, okay, he looks kind of cool, but like it's not really a story. It's Fortnite. You could say the same about like Marvel Rivals. If it was a story-driven game, sure. And like I mean like story-driven, not like, there's a cutscene where he says some cool dialogue or something. I don't know. It's not, is that real? Is that anything? White Skull Meter, I think Wilson Bethel Bullseye is better perfect casting over Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin. I agree. Wilson Bethel, I've said this to the other boys for years now. Wilson Bethel is the best villain in the MCU. Easy. Like Loki, I love Loki. He's transcended villainy. He's something else. If we're just taking like villain, no matter how complex they are, because he's very complex and damaged, but like he's a proper bad. I mean, Loki is a proper bad dude, but I just think he captures that fucking like weird, vindictive, loose cannon shit that Bullseye has so well. He's one that again tops the comic book one. I gotta stop using that phrasing, dude. I gotta stop using that. Why don't you guys do an IG live stream like back in the old days? We might. I would be happy to. It's more just that like YouTube is far more formal. I can plug in the microphone, the headphones. I can have a webcam facing me. I can interact in the chat like this. Whereas the Instagram live stream is very much we're just holding a camera here and an audio like this, and it just like doesn't. It's not. It doesn't sound as good. But I would like to do it. I'd be happy to do it and have the boys jump on and we just talk about shit. That one when Robert Downey Jr. got cast was crazy good. I'm so glad that we recorded that. Brad Gamble, Tyler, do you hate joy and sunshine and happiness? How can you think that book isn't that good? I knew the twist going into it and I was still entertained all the way through. Tyler has some weird opinions. Tyler has he has very strong weird opinions, and if you disagree, then you're the wrong one, and it's difficult to deal with. He's very good at rage baiting. Jasper, I got to catch the replay, but just wanted to pop in and say the Discord is awesome. Fuck yeah, guys, dude. I love how much people love the Discord. I fucking love it, man. I love it. There's so many people in there just having a good time. That's so good. I can see White Skull Media in there typing as we speak, dude. Yeah, man. That's cool. I wonder if we can get that up to like 100 members. That'd be sick. Um, Kev Dork, I love the return of Barry Allen so much, and I'm happy that it was my first full introduction to the Flash in general. It made the story so fun. Dude, I think the first Wally comic book I read was Dead Heat, the Savitar one. And I was like, this is a lot. I was confused as fuck, dude. I think the first Flash book I ever read generally was probably the first arc in New 52, which is good. And then like Flash Rebirth 2009 with that fucking awful Ethan Van Sciver bullshit art. Yeah, and Return of Barry Allen was pretty close behind there. That's a good ass book, dude. Nicholas Dookie, Mr. Harper, I might have to come back soon. I have to feed the doggos, dude. Take care of your animals. They're more important than anything. Than anything. They are, genuinely. Dude, we had like a series of shark attacks in Australia the other day. Like 3 people got attacked in 1 week, and there was a fucking politician being like, we need to bring back like killing sharks on site. And I was like, dude, someone's got to feed this fucking cunt to the sharks. Are you serious, dude? If you don't want to get eaten by a shark, just don't go in the ocean. Like that's the risk you run. Like, what do you expect? It's like being in war and getting shot and being surprised that that happened. Wow, dude, 3 people disappeared when I said throw that politician to the sharks. Sorry for the hot take, guys, but like fuck that. just weird. It's so weird. It's like going to see the Batman and then being surprised that the Joker's there. What were you buying in for? You knew this was part of the deal potentially. Whatever. Brandon Franco, have you gave Knights of the Seven Kingdom a watch, or did that one not interest you? I thought it was pretty solid, definitely smaller scale, giving season one vibes Game of Thrones. I've heard really good things about it, really good things. Uh, I saw that dude shitting on screen, and maybe he's actually shitting for real or something, which sounds like a jackass skit. I have no idea what's going on there. But yeah, I hear good things. I might. What I don't know. I don't know, dude. House of the Dragon season 2 really made me go like, oh, I don't really care anymore. And I rewatched the main show with my fiance, and like once we finished that, it shit the bed so hard that like she didn't even want to watch the spin-off. I have a video of her when spoilers for the finale of Game of Thrones. When Daenerys is flying through King's Landing and just melting the city. I have a video where I'm like recording her on the side like this, and she just goes, are you kidding me? Is this a joke? Like she was like offended by how like random of a twist it was. Like it's so bad. White Skull Media after Dragon Seed Saga. That's a good ass story, dude. I went straight to Extremis and I'm currently reading that volume. Oh, I'm gutted by that. You got tired of the Dragon Seed, dude. That is literally the meme. You are mining through. You're about to hit diamonds and you moved on. You got to go back. You got to go back, man. As long as you promise me you'll get back there eventually, because oh my god, so good. Gold Ninja fan. Oh, Christopher Daniel Barnes. Fuck it. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Yeah, he is the best. But I thought it was a story arc. I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm doing better than last week. Last week I misread so many things. I got off of that fucking live and was like, am I illiterate? Like, do I have dyslexia or something? I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, he's the best, man. I just love that voice so much. The D&D hunter, the goat. Harper, I just want to say, even though you're more of a Marvel guy right now, I really appreciate you've been keeping up with Fractions Batman with me on the pod. It's very kind. Stay tuned. I'm really digging myself a hole there. Avery McKinnon, what's a comic series or arc that nearly ruined a favorite character of yours? Whoa. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one, man. Nearly ruined. Okay. Oh, the obvious one is Civil War, for Tony Stark. That is just character assassination, the book. That book's so bad that I outright refuse to read Mark Millar stuff. Like, I know Mark Millar is weird and, you know, and people don't like him because he's always doing some weird sexual abuse stuff and he's got a weird fetish for things. But as far as we know, like Mark Millar is not actually a bad human being. He's never done anything wrong. He's not problematic in that way, but he's just a guy that I just refuse to read his stuff. I just refuse to read. I just won't do it. Because he fucked over Iron Man so hard. It's just bad. There's got to be other ones. I don't like Shadowland all that much, the Daredevil book. I haven't read it in like 10 years or something, so who knows? There's my number one. This is a comic book I fucking hate, and it's a hot take. Even though the character got a second lease of life, and you don't want to take away what we got afterwards, I can't stand the fucking Killing Joke. I cannot stand how that book treats Barbara Gordon. I think it's reprehensible dog shit. I think it's disgusting. Honestly. And I'm not saying you can't tell those kind of stories, those kind of dark stories, but I think I think it's foul. Um, I think it's trash. I really do. And like, yes, it gives us Oracle, and I love Oracle, and I love Barbara Gordon. Generally, one of my all-time faves. But yeah, I think that book is disgusting. I think it's foul as. There's probably more. That's maybe one we can even get back to. Miguel Perez, is there a character in literary fiction from books, comics, etc., that you want to see a movie or a show of with any fan cast for the main character? Okay, yeah. Um, oh fuck that, dude. That's a really good question. I was going to say I was gonna say like readapt The Howling because we have like 9 Howling movies, but none of them really have anything to do with the book. And that book, just as a story, there is so Like, it's so simplistic. I think completely changed the beginning of it because the beginning of it is very much like The Killing Joke. It's just, like, unnecessarily grim. Um, but I think you could really I think that would make for a really good adaptation now if you got the right people working on it. In terms of, like, books with, like, a lead character, any Stephen King stuff I like has already been adapted well or, like, adapted better. Like, a lot of the stuff that I love there is already, they've already done it well. I assume they'll do some more King stuff. Oh, damn. I'm actually just gonna what have I got? No, you can't I was gonna the Howling, Jurassic Park's there. I love Jurassic Park. Oh, good night, Pity, 1703. Good night. Um, can't really redo Jurassic Park because Jurassic Park is so, like, monumentally successful, that first movie, and then all the fucking shit that comes after it. But that book is so good as a horror book, dude. It's so creepy. I love how creepy that book is. So maybe one of those. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know if I have a character that I would adapt. I think a lot of the characters that I've read have been it. Like Thrawn is probably the most read single character because he's got like what 10 books. They're all up there. And I've read all of them. I've read some of them twice, but like he's already in live action. I'm looking at the hot toy. There he is. So I don't know. House of the Dragon season 2 is a letdown. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Is this live? Yep. Yeah, it is, dude. And look, I don't know if it'll work, but I'm saving the chat. So hopefully the chat is in the replay. We'll see. I don't know if that works. Yeah, but Batman X Fortnite is actually fire. Okay. Thoughts on Vertigo comic series? Like what from Vertigo? I haven't read a lot of it. I've read some. I mean, Preacher was Vertigo, and I fucking loved Preacher at the time. Again, I haven't read Preacher in like 10 years, but I fucking loved it at the time. Has there some I was gonna say you couldn't make Preacher now. You probably could make Preacher now. We've kind of swung back to like edgy stuff is okay again as long as people understand that it's not like don't do this in public. But I don't know. Would you say Hellblazer with John Constantine is the most consistently well-written series? The most consistently well-written series is The Walking Dead because it never misses. Or anything by Mark Waid. I've only read a little bit of Hellblazer. I liked what I read of Hellblazer. Constantine is a character that he's kind of like Loki, except I don't have as much love. Like sometimes I love John Constantine hugely. I think he's the best. And then other times I actually cannot fucking stand him. Like I actually cannot stand. And that's an effect of the way he's written. And writers tend to do that with John. They want him to be the person that you find insufferable. But they do such a good job of making him insufferable that I find him insufferable. And that's it. I mean, I love Zatanna. Zatanna is one of my all-time faves. I'm gonna catch up on her soon, her 2 minis. Um, but like even her relationship with John, I like them being a thing of the past, and I like that they have a nice, like, friendly dynamic, but, like, I do not want those characters together because he drives me insane. Um, that's awesome. Hunter's just sent this and said, "Going well so far." That's great. That's a awful out of context fucking screenshot, dude. That's unreal. Okay. Yeah, House of the Season, House of the Dragon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How much of Iron Man should I read following 275? So read the rest of Kaminsky's run because it goes, I believe it ends at 318. And then after that, it becomes the young Tony Stark, the crossing, old Tony Stark goes evil thing. And I don't know that this for sure, and this is the thing that Iron Man fans speculate, but that uh, um, Len Kaminsky's run ends where it does, and it ends kind of like on a okay, then that's it. That's all. We kind of told all the stories we need to. There's a big story and then a few issues of just like, hey, there we go. Um, and apparently the rumor was that Marvel offered Len Kaminsky like, hey, do you want to write like the Teen Tony, the evil Tony Stark stuff? And he was like, no. No, I don't. I would rather leave the book and not have this job than do that. And so he ends, and literally that issue, 318, end there and just fucking don't read any of the rest of it. Because then it's just like it's just trash. You just don't need to. And I think that's cool because like Len Kaminsky's run as a run is like untouched. It doesn't have like this weird like, oh, it was really good, but then at the end, Tony Stark's evil and he's a kid. Okay. Yeah. So I read to 318, I believe it is. And then skip whatever comes after it. Brad Gamble, what is the best rivalry in comic books and why is it Grodd versus Obama? Is there an argument that like the Grodd versus Obama dynamic in Legends of Tomorrow is better than like, you know, Captain America and Red Skull in movies? That's probably a bad example. You know what I mean? Like, is there a legit argument that that episode and that rivalry there is better than Savitar and the Flash? I don't know. I don't know. Look it up. I don't know. Brad Gamble, 100% on the Killing Joke, but I also legit hate the Joker after all that glazing from his weird fans in the 2010s, 2020. I also hate the Joker and I hate Joker glazing. Now I need to state for the record that I, as a Doom fan and sort of a like sometimes Doom glazer. That sounds again, I don't like saying that. But I I I also disagree with like the doom glazy people that are like, did you know that he can destroy anyone in like a single hit? No. I like that he can get trounced by Captain America. I like that he can just get beaten up. Like, yeah, he has contingencies, and we do see those a lot. But I also like when Doom gets taken down a peg. I think that makes the character more interesting. Secret Wars works because you have him at the highest of highs, and then the fall from grace that comes after that, him having the highest of highs and then being like, "Oh, that really didn't work out. I guess I'll be a good guy now." I love that. I think that's why any of the infamous Iron Man and Marvel 2-in-1 era where he's Iron Man works, but you also have to take him down a peg. I also love when Doom is, like just trouncing people and talking shit. I do genuinely love that, but there is a place for both. And I think when people get real glazy and weird about feats and what characters can do and how powerful they are, you miss the whole fucking point. Like the character is not interesting because they're strong and they can do everything. The character is interesting because the character is interesting, and that's really it. Really slurred my words there. Oh god. Okay. TJ Swan. I just watched The Howling for the first time last night. Thought you'd be proud. I am. It's a fun movie. It's not like an all-time great, but it also is in some ways. It's so eerie. You can go back on the channel. There's a video I did called, I think, Harper Talks Horror, where I'm Fat Harper again. Not again. I was. I didn't transform back and make that video last week, but yeah. And like I think in that video, I just talk about like, oh, dude, the atmosphere in that movie is so fucked because it is so eerie for like no reason. Like it's parts of it are so creepy when they're not even trying to be. Like people are walking through the forest and there's this weird like operatic like music, and like it seems like that should be funny, but you're just like, oh, I don't like this. This is creepy. I can hear my fucking cat moving shit. Maybe he's doing more than stuff. Eddie, you good? He's fine. I'm gonna assume that he's fine. Or I'm about to get killed live. Miguel Perez, my fan cast was always John Hamm as Batman. I don't know, man. That's cool. I think that's a fair and understandable fan cast. He doesn't do as much for me. I would personally go Robert Downey Jr. Okay. Is there a character whose series you haven't read that you'd really like to? Dude, what? Oh, dude, it's people doing roadworks. Never mind. A character whose series you haven't read that you'd really like to. There's a couple. There's a couple characters I would love to get into. Um, one of them, oh, this is so unfortunate. One of them is Venom. I kind of want to read Venom. I kind of want to read like Lethal Protector or something. I don't know why, but there are plenty of characters. There's some DC stuff I'd like to explore. There's just like the thing with some characters is that just like I don't know that I can handle getting into all the like the amount of reading and the amount of baggage. Like some characters I just want to read a little bit of. And I don't want to read their entire history because I do that for the characters that I love. I just read everything. But I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Um, Let me Google that because you've lost me. Oh my god, that's so niche. Oh my god. There's a comment here from Brandon Franco. Justice for Vasile, Howling Part 2. Um, that is an incredibly niche character. I can't believe you saw that movie as well. I'll pull up a photo. Where's Vasile? Vasile? I don't have a photo. That movie's wild. That's the one with Christopher Lee. It's where he goes to like Transylvania and he's wearing those glasses and he looks really cool. Have I got a photo of him? My God, they really just marketed that movie on that chick's boobs. Oh, look at him, dude! Look how cool he looks. No one has ever looked that cool. The Howling Part Two, actually, weirdly, is the Howling movie I saw last. I saw Howling 1, I saw 3 and 4 a lot. Howling 3 being the marsupials, which is the Australian one. Represent. um Howling 4 being like the reboot version of the original movie. It's an adaptation of the book, but also not very good. 5 is the one in like a Hungarian castle. 6 being the traveling show one, and then 7, New Moon Rising, probably the lowest budget werewolf movie I've ever seen. Unbelievably bad. Most of that movie is just people like line dancing and this guy talking with an Australian accent. But oh my god, dude, if you go back to anyone who hasn't watched that werewolf video I did, I implore you to watch it because no one did. But there's a part in there where I discuss this weird piece of lore in the Howling franchise about this dude that shows up in like 3 movies, seemingly as different characters, but maybe it's all connected. And then he directs the 7th one, or is it the 8th one? Did I miss one? Anyway, it's wild. It's crazy. Oh, and then they did the reboot. But Howling 2, I didn't watch until like a couple years ago. And then I was so happy to do it because it was the nostalgia of watching those shitty werewolf movies as a kid in the Howling franchise. And I watched it in the context of like running, and I was just like, this movie's fucking like awesome in the dumbest way possible. Like it was really enjoyable. There's multiple points where they've clearly got like a werewolf puppet head that just sort of like turns and like gnashes its teeth. And they just reuse that shot throughout the whole movie, and it makes you think there's more werewolves in it than there actually are. And it's very funny. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I got lost on a howling tangent. Is there a character? Yeah, Venom was one of them. I'm gonna catch up on some Loki. I'm gonna catch up on Zatanna, but again, those are characters I'm actually a fan of. In terms of like characters that I'm not into or a fan of, I've read plenty of Batman, a lot of older Batman stuff. And like the New 52 run and the start of Rebirth. Um, but like I could feasibly see myself reading some more Batman. I think it's again Batman's a hard one because there's just so much of it that like unless Batman was a top fave of mine and it was a mission to read everything, I feel like I'd always be on the outs with Batman. What are some characters that I really am interested in? I haven't read a hell of a lot of Nightwing. I've read some of him. Marvel stuff. Thor's dialogue pisses me off sometimes, but I kind of would like to read a bit of Thor. Captain America is probably a big one. I'd like to read more Cap. Wolverine, maybe. Yeah, there's a few actually. There's a few. There's always the quest, right? When you're reading comic books, you're always reading something and then still thinking about what the next thing is. Like I'm reading this Dwayne McDuffie Fantastic Four thing at the moment, and I'm still thinking about the thing that I'm going to read later today. Because it's just the constant thing with comics, man. You're just never done. Um, Unhappy Spoon. How many issues of Iron Man have you read? Uh, Starting from Michelini's first run all the way up to what's his name? Dan Slott. and then Cantwell is where I dropped out. There might be holes in that 98 series at the end when it's like tying in with Avengers Disassembled or whatever. I think I've got some holes there. Um, the thing is, I'll be able to tell where my gaps are, and they'll only be like 10 issues. I could fill it in because then I can do that thing where I can almost claim that I've read every Iron Man issue from like 1976 until now, which would be cool to say. And I imagine I'd only be like 20 issues off of that. But because of my list where I collect all my favorite appearances, I pretty much have every Iron Man issue that I've read outside of like the Kieran Gillen stuff. Um, and I know that I've read that because it's like modern. I remember it. So like I would be able to fill those gaps in very easily. I will at some point, but yeah, God, at this point, I've read probably every issue from 1976 till now, minus probably like 20 issues or something. Which I don't know what I mean. If Iron Man's up to 600 now, what is that? Probably like I've probably read half of that, maybe more, 400 maybe. I don't know, a lot. I love that character, dude. He's my goat. People talking about Lucifer. Oh, the fucking comic book. Yeah, man. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Is Lucifer written by? Is it written by him? It's written by him, isn't it? That sucks. Avery McKinnon, could we get another episode of Out of Context Quotes quiz episode? I bet a bunch of people would send in awesome quotes. I would look. Oh man, actually, I will say at the podcast this week will be a fun one, and I might get some help with that part of it. That's where we'll leave that. White Skull Media, what projects and choices do you want from the MCU soft reboot? Make it more colorful, more classic-y kind of costumes. Just make it silly. Well, not like silly, but like the newest Superman movie. Make it like that. Make it comic booky. I'd love to see Iron Man with a mustache. I'd love him to be yellow, gold, and red. I think lean into like everything is established and we can just play with all the toys. Like, don't do the like, oh, we've got to set up this thing and this thing. Like, just accept that people will like go along for the ride with it. Um, that's kind of what I want. Brad Gamble, there is only one character who I will say can beat any fictional character, and it's this female mafia teacher from a classic Japanese comedy drama, Goku Sen. I feel like I'm saying that wrong because I'm reading Goku. Is it just Goku Sen? Goku Sen? Goku Sen? That sounds pretty good, or it's wrong. No feats, just vibes, dude. Yeah, that's it, dude. That's it. Fuck feats. Just give me the vibes. Ronald McDonald, Venom. I'm obsessed with Agent Venom. He's my guy. My favorite comic book character that got me into comics. Venom by Rick Remender is amazing. I love it so much, dude. That I love hearing that. I love that like Venom or Agent Venom is just like your top guy because like we all have like a character or characters in our top 10 or whatever that are like, yeah, or like, you know, a lot of my characters, it's Iron Man, Daredevil, and Darth Vader, and Doctor Doom, and even at this point, Doctor Strange. And it's like, you know, those are characters people know. And then you kind of fill out the list with your more niche favorites. Like I've had some fucking niche characters in the top 10 over the years. Some bizarrely random niche. I think Zatanna is probably the most niche character on my list these days. Maybe Thrawn, but like Thrawn's quite mainstream at the moment, or these days at least. But I love people loving a niche character. White Skull Media, after I finish my Iron Man read soon, I plan to get into Hulk comics. Hell yeah. I've been wanting to do so for a while. And when I read Immortal Hulk 3 years ago, I felt transcended. I bought the Hulk Grey recently. That is cool. That is cool. The credit sequence. Oh, no, I lost it. The credit sequence was insane. They were really gooning in the 80s, dude. That song in The Howling 2, the pale, pale light. That's a fucking banger, dude. That goes hard. Howl. My fiance and I still quote that. It's so funny. There's that. Oh my god. There's that, and there's another. Oh, there's another like howling based. Oh, there's another like howling based song. Oh my god. What? In the Howling 7. In the Howling 7, there's like a 6-minute sequence where this old guy just plays a song on stage. You gotta understand, this is like an hour and 10 movie, and an hour of it is just like old people bumbling around a bar on the lowest budget you've ever seen. It's phenomenal, dude. That movie again tries to tie all the other movies together. It's crazy. But there's an old dude singing, and I don't even remember how the rest of the song goes, but at one point, like the end of the chorus is just him going, testify. And just every now and then I just say, testify. I love it, dude. It's so stupid. I love horror, man. It's so dumb. Oh god. Controversial, but after Spider-Man Blue, Hulk Gray was my favorite of the color books. Cap White was meh. There you go. That's cool. I think I've only read Daredevil Yellow. My bad. Yeah, the action towards the end was sick as fuck, dude. Towards, good correction. Oh, forwards. That is a good correction. White Scott Media. Haven't read Cap White, but liked Blue and Yellow enough. Looking forward to Grey. It's cool. Is Man your most read character? Probably. It's either Iron Man or it's Daredevil. I think Iron Man by sheer appearances, probably. Although I can say that I've read every Daredevil issue from like 1980, 1979 till now. Oh, actually, maybe I'm missing some in that Chichester in that period. I think I'm missing a couple there. Again, I reckon I'd only be missing like 10 issues and I could fill that fucking gap in so easy. So yeah, it'd be Daredevil or it'd be Tony. One of those two. And like they're always going to be the top because like just the sheer amount of books. Doctor Strange has a fraction of those. I mean, he crossed what 450 last year. Iron Man had what 600 like 2 years ago. So yeah. Um and then all the other characters. I mean, a low appearance. I mean, Doctor Doom's there, but like he's never going to have the amount of appearances that. If I read every single Doctor Doom appearance, including cameos, it would not be. It would still not beat the amount of just Iron Man issues I've already read. It's just like it would never happen. Brandon Franco, I'm thinking of getting into Bronze Age Batman right now. It's so cool. I think it's so cool retracing your favorite character stories and comparing them to how they hold up to Bond stories and seeing all of the development. I agree. I like going back. I like comparing things. I This is a random one, but in like Doom, when they showed Doom's origin initially, for some reason he got like the scar on his chin. Like, I mean, the scar was like here, right? It wasn't a big scar. And then for some reason he's like, I'll be bald as well. And I'm like, what part of the accident like made you bald? And the only person I think that has made Victor Von Doom bald since was that Dan Slott run, where he's like under the mask, he's disfigured, he's got battle scars, and he's bald. And I just think it's so funny. I think it's funny that like Brubaker and not Brew, yeah, Brubaker and everyone like since has been like, no, he's not. Like he's got hair. His face got burned. He didn't get like Freddy Krueger. It's so weird. I think that's funny. It's just a funny retcon. I think it's like Franklin Richards now having black hair. You're just like, oh, okay, sure. Unhappy Spoon. Secret quiz still happening? Question mark. I couldn't tell you that because that would betray the secret of it all, wouldn't it? Now. I got the pronunciation right. Yeah, of course I did, because I'm the best dude. Brad Gamble watched the whole show with no subtitles, and I still don't speak Japanese, so I just picked up on context clues for everything. That's so funny. It's like that's really funny. I mean, you could do it. Like you could watch, like a Korean show like Squid Game without dialogue and you fully understand what's going on and like where like people's positions of power and how they're acting and why. That's so funny though. White Skull Media also started Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Yeah, recently, and it's great. Feels like the type of book. Yeah, no, dude, I love Swamp Thing. Like I already love Swamp Thing. That's a character I would love to go back and read. I read a little bit of the Alan Moore stuff and never, I think like it didn't have a new trade or something. And it was back in the day where I'm like, I don't want to read anything in like single issue. I only want it if there's like a collection that I can buy. Um, and not even physically. I mean, like buy digitally. Like I bought trades on Amazon for Comixology. Those are the days, dude. I'd love to get into Swamp Thing. That's gone. Even Man Thing, dude. Actually, Werewolf by Night, I read probably the first 20 issues of that original run, and I was like, "Fuck, this feels old." But I'd like to read more of it. Just like I feel like I have to. It's like the premier werewolf character in comics. I feel like I have to read him. Um, Nicholas Doogie, when will you release the Fortnite episode? Dude, I don't even know where I've got to say. I could check on my desktop right now. I think we might next time we do a live, I might try and do the OBS screen recording so you guys can see what I'm looking at. I don't even know where I have it now. I have episode 29 and 31 there. I don't have it. I don't know, man. I can still probably put it up. I don't even know if I've got my clips from it still, but if people really wanted it, I could release it as a podcast. That'd be fucking terrible. Brad Gamble, now that I have the comic app subscriptions, I want to read all of The Flash and Daredevil, but I'm not looking forward to the Silver Age stuff with more text than a modern Yu-Gi-Oh card on each panel. I'm a big proponent in like the idea that you don't have to do that if you don't want to. If you want to, and like your goal is like, no, I want to start here and go all the way. Like, props to you, fair enough, do it. But like, I personally would not. I did that for Doctor Strange. I went back and read all of Strange Tales or most of Strange Tales. I think there was like 40 of them that I read or something like that. And I think you do not need to do that. I really don't think you need to. Like there is, there's inspiration. They're obviously very important, but I really don't think you have to do that if you're a fan or you feel a calling to do it. Whatever. But I mean, it's a cool idea. If you could do it, you know, that's cool. Remember that guy that wrote that book and he said, like, I've read every Marvel issue of all time, every single one. No, you didn't. No, you did not. White Skull Media, top 5 Doom stories. Okay, excellent. All right, here we go. I'm literally going to bring up my appearances list and I'm going to I'm going to sort it out via there because I think that will give me the best bet. So like the obvious one before I even read is going to be Books of Doom. It's the ultimate Doom book in terms of just like you get everything there. You get the origin, you get modern day Doom, and then you get the fun reveal at the end. And all of that is very Victor Von Doom. That's good. Okay. I might even go through and just rule things out. Oh my god, dude. Doom Quest. I know it's not a Doctor Doom story through and through. Doom Quest, Iron Man 149, 150. And then if you want the sequel, 249, 250 is the best. Legacy of Doom as well, which is also Michelini. It's basically the third Doom quest. And then even the issues 9, 10, and 11 of Mighty Avengers is another Doom Tony story. I don't think people realize how deep the Doom and Tony lore goes, dude. Like, it's not just they appeared in Doom Quest one time. No, they've got history, dude. Marvel Fanfare 44, I think it is. It's another Iron Man Doom story. There's a lot of that. So I'll say Books of Doom. I'll say Doom Quest. You're gonna have to put Secret Wars up there because it's Secret Wars. Now let me look through and see what else. I love that Cantwell run. I'm not putting that in the top yet. Oh, Inevitable. No, Unthinkable, but the Mark Waid one, like a bit of a contentious kind of Doom appearance in terms of his actions. He's really crook in that. He's a bad dude. But I think as a story, it is just so well written. I don't know that it's mine. A lot of people would say Triumph and Torment. That's 5. I don't know if that is mine. There's a lot of good stuff on here. There's a lot of really good. Like, he just appears for like a few issues at a time, and it's really good. Fantastic Four 536 to 537. Fantastic Four 507 to 508. It's just a lot of like Thor 604 to 606. Yeah. I would say those. I do really like Triumph and Torment. I just don't think people will say it's the best Doom story, the best Doctor Strange story, and I don't think that's true personally. That's just me. Comixology, RIP. Yep. RIP. What is it now, dude? Kindle. I was on there 2 weeks ago for One World Under Doom 9 and something else. And it was just like, it's so just ugly to read, dude. What was the point of Superman Red and Blue? If you had to ask me that question like 3 years ago, I could have given you an answer. I have no idea anymore. I have absolutely no idea. The Wes Craven Swamp Thing movie is so odd. No one talks about. I did know that there's a sequel to that as well. I don't think Wes Craven did the sequel, but yeah, that is crazy. Like 1982, 1981 or something. Yeah, that's nuts. Dude, that I loved that Swamp Thing show when it came out. You know, the DC, what was that streaming platform called? What was that streaming DC, I don't know, DC Plus, DC, I don't know. I really like that show. Derek Mears as Swamp Thing, dude who played Jason in the 2009 movie. That goes hard. That is cool. Fortnite next week, right after D&D. Yeah, right after D&D. Gold Ninja fan. Lost episode when? Do you guys want the lost? We could just recreate the lost episode in terms of how like we talk about things now, because that it's not that controversial. I think. I think the lost episode has taken on like, oh, what happened? It wasn't that bad. We've cut out worse things. I don't even think that's true, but I like sprinkling that in. Yeah, I can't believe Tyler said that one time. Wow. Yeah, it should get cancelled. Weirdly enough, Flash is the one character where the Silver Age stuff is fairly readable. I did go back and read a lot of that stuff, and like, actually, I have some of that in fucking single issue somewhere. Yeah, like, okay, I mean, like early Barry is like, I don't know, probably not really my thing, but I'm glad people like it. I've never read any J stuff. Brad Gamble, is all of Frank Miller Daredevil worth it? Or should I just go with Man Without Fear and Born Again and call it good? No, dude, like maybe it's just the time that I read it, but I read that in like 2019, I feel like it was. And it was just a time where I was living at home and I was hanging out with like my mum and my stepdad, and we would just like play pool, like the game pool. And when I wasn't playing, I was reading Frank Miller's Daredevil like on the couch out there, and it was just like it was good vibes. It was probably the best time I had with those people ever in my entire life. And so I have extreme nostalgia for that run, but I also think that run is fantastic. And I would argue that the actual Frank Miller run on Daredevil is better than potentially both of those stories. Born Again's a hard shout. That is, that's pretty fucking good. But I think that Frank Miller run, you'll get more from that than you will the Man Without Fear and Born Again. I think that one issue of Bullseye in Hospital, Roulette, where Matt's got the pistol and he's like flicking around. I mean, he's playing roulette. You guys know what roulette is. And he's talking to Bullseye. That might be the best issue that Frank Miller ever did on Daredevil. So absolutely, you got to read that whole run. That's just my opinion. Ronald McDonald, got to go to bed now. I'll watch the whole video tomorrow. I mean, dude, you've been here for most of it. We've been going, what, hour and a half? You ain't going to miss much. Isn't it like Kindle Unlimited now? Dude, I don't know. I spent to buy One World Under, well, to buy any issue, it was like $9.40 or something. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. It was brutal. So I don't know what more there is. Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know. DC Universe. Was it really just called DC Universe? Is that really what the streaming? That was all it was called. There you go. It's lame. Triumph and Torment was my first Doom story. It was recommended by my brother who loves it. And from there, it's where I started understanding why Doom is such a great villain. So I'm biased towards it. And then, yeah, I agree. White Skull. When I entered a Doctor Doom phase, Triumph and Torment was the first story. It's almost nostalgic for me. It's fair. It is a really good book. And I mean, you also get like halfway through that book, you get like the retelling of Doom's origin from Boris and all of that. So it is a good story to like introduce you to Doctor Doom, because like it's about Strange. When Doom enters the story, all of the other magic people are like, oh my god, it's fucking dude, it's Doctor Doom, what the hell? And it's also before, it's the story that makes Doom like magical and technological. Like people forget that Victor wasn't incredibly well versed in magic initially. He tried to follow on in Cynthia's footsteps and he failed. and he was more of a tech guy, and then eventually moved into sorcery. Like now, we look at Doctor Doom, and he's like, yeah, he can be he's like one of the best sorcerers, and also one of the best tech guys. But at that point, he wasn't. In Triumph and Torment, he's nowhere near Doctor Strange's level. He's getting there, and that's kind of in that story. And I like you get all of that aura about it, and then you also get, his team up with Strange. You get him betraying Strange, but then you also get him secretly not betraying Strange, and that's really cool. It's a good like wrinkle on that character, to be like, oh, Strange has done him a favor here, and he's actually not just going to let him die. And like, Doctor Doom probably would, but he doesn't, and that's cool, and I really enjoy that. Brandon Franco, DC Universe with exclusive shows like Swamp Thing, canceled same day. Yeah, I remember when it got canceled, dude. I was gutted. Crystal Reed, is that the who was Abby Arcane in that show? She was my pick for Zatanna for the longest time, dude. There's like a DC special issue with a short Zatanna story where they literally just draw her. They draw Zatanna to look like her, and I was like, dude, make it happen. But they won't. I remember her from oh wow, dude, literally the first photo. There it is. That's the art in that story. It's just her. Like they just made it her. It's crazy. But that's a yeah. I remember her from Teen Wolf. I loved fucking Teen Wolf when I was a kid, dude. Not the Michael J. Fox one, the TV show. Yep. Yeah, it had the comics too, but when the streaming failed, it just folded streaming into HBO Max and let the comics just exist. So the same. I think that's kind of the best way to do it. I don't think if Marvel Unlimited was the place where you also went for Born Again and Moon Knight and I don't think that would work as well as just having it on the big corporation version. I think that's probably the right move, isn't it? By the way, Swamp Thing's show was good as fuck, severely underlooked and underrated. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like 10 minutes ago, bro. It's the best. It's not the best, but it's up there. Oh, it's got Will Patton. I love Will Patton, dude. Halloween, voice actor for the Doctor Strange audiobook. He's very good. I was going to do an impression, but I don't think it would have been very good. He is cool, though. Visually amazing, too. It's a good looking show. Do you want Doom to be proficient in magic in the MCU? Absolutely. It's a thing that I have thought about because Andy Bean, dude. Yeah, Alec Holland. He's Stan in fucking It. That's good. Ah, Stan. That's gutting, dude. Oh, man. Yeah. Like Doom in live action so far, discounting like the 90s movie. We're talking released movies. The Tim Story ones, he just has like electricity powers. Electricity and metal, whatever. And then in Fant Four Stick, he's just got like just he just shoots like it looks like he's casting like green fireballs or something. I don't know. I want Doom to be I want him to be magical or have magic elements because it's gonna make him it's like that's the character. You want him to be Doom is not the best tech guy and he's not the best sorcerer, but he's the most proficient in mixing them. And that's the character, dude. That's what you want him to be. You want him to have this weird tech edge, but also he knows arcane shit. That's what you want, man. I think you have to do that. Otherwise, Doom is just another guy in a fucking metal suit, and that's it. I mean, he's not because they would characterize him differently, but it kind of would be. Yeah, that's cool. I first saw her in Gotham. Yeah, it makes sense. All the marketing they put into Titans, dude. Titans might be the craziest, like, piece of shit with a budget, dude. It's like it looks like it should be good, and it's the worst thing ever made. It's so fucking terrible. It's like an affront to everything that makes DC good. Brad Gamble, is Phase 6 going to end with Secret Wars, or will there be another movie or two afterwards? No, Phase 6 will definitely end with Secret Wars, and then if there's a Phase 7, that'll be the reboot or whatever they do. Brandon Franco, has anyone here watched Pennyworth? No. Unhappy Spooner started listening to the audiobook for it. And it's insane how randomly in depth it is about the weirdest stuff. As in the audiobook for It, as in It the book, or as in Doctor Sleep, or something else. For It, yeah, dude. Again, You need to separate the stuff that happens in chapter 23 of that book. I mean, you can't really. It is part of the book, and unfortunately, that's part of its legacy. But that book, outside of that, is like the greatest thing I've ever read. It's just unbelievably. You get so lost in that world. It's unbelievable. That's good stuff. Did you guys see Stephen King's tweet the other day? It went mega viral, and it was him being like, "Dude, they're hiding the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files." And I was like, thank you," because he put out that tweet where he was like, "Huh, the list isn't real," which I understood what he was saying. He was saying like an actual, just find a list. Like that's probably not likely. But then everyone saw that and went, weird that you bring that up. And now to be fair, he was calling for the release before that and immediately after that as well. But people saw that tweet and understandably took it and ran with it. And they were like, hey, the dude that wrote the child gangbang in It, look what he tweeted. And it was like, oh, bad optics, dude, bad optics. But I'm glad he's clarifying now because there's zero chance he was near that island because he wasn't big enough. Just wasn't big. He wasn't one of those guys, dude. Jason Todd was pretty good though. Bring back Cur Dog. Nah. No. Do not do that. Do not do that. I can't. That dude is so obsessed with that role, and I get it. Like you had a role and you want it back, but like all he talks about, and it's hard to watch, dude. It's really hard to watch. Yeah, fuck Batman. That was good. Titans is like a fan film. Yeah, it is. Gotham definitely started out pretty cool, but lost me over time. I don't know anything about the guy, but I liked Ben McKenzie as Gordon. I liked him. I know nothing else about it. Just got off work. Tax season is brutal. Harper, what should I get from Taco Bell? Dude, I've never had Taco Bell in my fucking life. I don't even think we have it here. My suggestion is if you're going to get takeout and you're going to treat yourself, and maybe you don't get takeout that if you get takeout a lot, just just get a couple things and enjoy it. But if you don't get takeout a lot and you're like, fuck it, dude, I'm getting takeout, I would say just grab a heap of shit. Just grab a bit of this, bit of that, and don't even worry about it. Just fucking get some shit and eat it and enjoy it. Put on a good YouTube video when you come home, and just eat that shit and enjoy it. That's what I'll say. So random. First 3 episodes of Pennyworth were good. Then we canceled cable and never went back. Oh, sad times, dude. You guys are just talking about orders now from Taco Bell. I'll do just that. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't listen to get what you want. He's a pretty good guy. He's really into regulation for like cryptocurrency and shit coins. Ben McKenzie? As in the dude that played Gordon? Because if that's true, that's fucking fire. I did not know that. Really? Ben McKenzie? Okay, sure, dude. Fuck yeah. Always, it's really nice when you think someone's cool and then you hear and you're like, oh, they are cool. It sucks when you think someone's cool and then it's like, oh, that's the lamest thing anyone's ever said. Why is everyone going to fucking Saudi Arabia, dude? What are they doing over there? Insane switch up by King. I don't know. Again, I don't know it was a switch up as much as it was like, why did you word it that way? Like he had his point, I think, was probably right because it was right at the time that the administration, we'll call them, were like, yeah, we've got the list, it's sitting on the desk, it's ready to go. And he tweeted like, I think that's bullshit, as if that's real, and he's right in the sense that do not trust anything that fucking comes out because the people that are in charge of releasing it are also people that seem to be involved with it. Definitely are, at least the one at the top. And I think it was a fair assessment to be like, dude, do not trust what they're going to say. Oh, you've got a list, do you? But it's just the optic of being like, there's a list. Yeah. Just like there's a Santa Claus. Like, no, bro. No, you worded that bad. He clarified in the next tweet. He was like, no, I don't mean that like they're not, but it was too late at that point. So I'm glad he's kind of redeeming himself in the public eye, talking up about it now. But fuck, man, that was a rough 6 months where I'm like, why did you say that? Why did you say that, dude? Oh, man. That Ben McKenzie thing has thrown me. That's crazy. Like going in front of US Congress, dude, this is crazy. He was also Ryan, the main character of the OC, dude. White Skull Media's got knowledge. He's got knowledge about the OC, dude. Hit him up for any OC knowledge. Unhappy spoon for someone who's a writer. You'd think he'd be able to phrase it better. 100%. He also tweets so fucking often that I wonder how much thought he puts into it. He just tweets all the time. He said something the other day where I was like, he was tweeting about Trump and saying, you know, he's a dictator and all the good stuff. But at the end of it, he said something like, and you know, and dictators always get what they'll deserve. And I was just like, people are gonna read into that and think he's openly threatening him. Fuck. Oh man. And the main cop in Southland with Michael Cudlitz. Dude, that's Abraham or Lex Luthor from Supergirl, depending on your preference. How did I get into hot toys? Dude, I like saw some YouTube videos in like 2021, maybe 2020. I don't know. I just saw like videos. Like I'd seen hot toys in like Minotaur, which is a store in Melbourne, which is near me. A store in Melbourne that has like hot toys on display. And I used to see like the mechanic one from Iron Man 3 when I was younger. And I was like, dude, that's so sick. It's so realistic. Which is funny because if you look at it now, it looks like shit. But no, it's a cool toy. The head sculpt just doesn't look good. But yeah, I used to see them all the time, and I was like, I will never be able to like own that. Like it's just impossible. And then I got a job, and I started watching Hot Toys videos, and I was like, you know, I could get one of these. I could get one of these, just the one. I'll just get the one of these. And so the first one I bought was the Silver Centurion Iron Man from Iron Man 3. And it was cool. I had it displayed with the spikes out, like sort of like flying there. It looked cool. And I was surprised when I took it out of the box because it was very light. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought these things would be like heavier and more durable. Um, Whatever. And then I read online or like I watched a video and it was like, oh yeah, and this Iron Man, the die cast metal. And I went, die cast? What do you mean? There's metal in these? And then realized that the figure that I had was kind of an older one and that it didn't have, you know, it didn't have those kind of metal parts about it. And then I was like, oh shit, well, I need to get like, I need to sell that and get one of the new ones. And so then this is probably the oldest hot toy I have currently. It's the Mark 85 from Endgame. Just the clean one. Just got the helmet on. I've got the one where he's snapping and he's all battle damage or whatever. I bought this one and was shocked by like how fucking heavy it was and was like, oh, this is what they're supposed to be like. And then I was fucked from there, dude. Then I was fucked. I bought so many Iron Man. I impulse bought like random shit. I had, dude, at one point I had like 4 different Din Djarins from the Mandalorian. Just like, what was I thinking, dude? And over time, I just sort of curated my collection a bit more. I started collecting just the stuff I really care about. I got like the Netflix Daredevil, which I still have. I've got like Vader and Anakin. I had a few different ones. A John Wick, whatever. I actually might even sell that Netflix Daredevil when that Born Again one comes out. It's a cool figure. It's Netflix Daredevil, but he's just standing like this and he looks like a twig. No matter how you pose him, he looks very thin. And then yeah, it's just downward spiral. And in the last couple of years, I've been really good with it. I don't impulse buy. I only really buy things that matter to me and mean something to me. There's plenty of times where I see a cool toy and I'm like, that's really cool. But if I don't care about the character, why would I spend $400 to buy it? Like it's too much money to invest in something you don't care about. And yeah. So now I sell to buy if like I think I've sold like 4 or 5 and I've bought 3, but like the John Wick from chapter 4, which is up the top there. And yes, I did see that comment. Are the hot toys in the room with us? I can pan around if you want me to. I had 2 of the chapter 2 John Wicks, which were much older figures. And I was like, I had a second one. And then I was like, if they ever do another John Wick, this one will increase in value. I'll sell it and buy the new one. And it did. I sold one of those John Wicks for a decent price and used all the money to buy the new one. But when I got the new one, I was like, "Oh my god, this looks so good. I cannot possibly keep the old one next to it." Because one of them looks like Keanu Reeves, and one of them looks like if Keanu Reeves was in the Flash movie and he was a CGI character. And it just like From then on, pretty much, I have just sold to buy up. A new Clone Wars Anakin came out, and I sold my old one. A new when Doctor Doom came out, I sold one of my comic book Iron Man. I love comic book Iron Man, but I was like, I really felt like I only needed one, which is ironic because I've got double ups of a lot of things. But it was a figure that held its value, and you couldn't really change anything about it to make it look different. Like I like buying double ups if I can swap things out. Like I've got two Doctor Strangers from Multiverse of Madness. One's got the normal head and like rings of magic around his wrist. The other one's got the third eye, the cape. I bought the sword that came with the Infinity War one, and he's posed up in a complete like they present very differently. Same with the Pennywise. There's one of them standing there with the smile. The other one's head with the teeth out and claws, and it's like a different way of displaying it. I could never buy like three of the same one, but for a couple, I have double ups. But now these days, I try to sell out. I try to sell out. That's cool. I should be a celebrity. I try to sell out so that I can trade up and buy new stuff. Oh no, I didn't sell comic book Iron Man for Doctor Doom. I sold comic book Iron Man when they announced that superior Iron Man hot toy. And I was like, I'm gonna have to get that. So I've sold a comic book Iron Man to buy another comic book Iron Man. Anyway, that was a long-winded fucking chat. Sorry, my bad. My bad. I'm gonna go up. I missed a few. I'm sorry. Twitter is the absolute pits of hell, but sometimes there's stuff there that makes you just yeah, exactly. I unfortunately I don't currently, but I had a Twitter account just to get in on the conversation with things. Not that I'd never commented, but I was there to witness the conversation because I was just like brain rot, social media obsessive, but I wanted to see what people were talking about. And yeah, dude, if you're on the Musk side of Twitter, it's a fucking hellhole, and if you're not, it's like sometimes really funny. Sometimes really funny. Other hot toys in the room with us. Do you guys really want me to pan the fucking camera around? I'll check in a sec. If there's more than three people, I will. Should I move to Australia to get away from this administration? Yep. If they let you leave. Dude, Australia's great. I mean, Australia's got its problems, but like, man, we had a similar election and ours swung the complete different way. I was gonna say thankfully, not like they're perfect, but thankfully. I have to bring up Smallville again, but who was the best villain of the show for me besides Lex? Zod. Dude, I was about to say Zod. Callum Blue? Is that his name? I thought he was great. If we're thinking about the same person, I think he was great, dude. Callum Blue. Yeah, this guy, this dude, I thought he was awesome. That's the hot take. That's the best Zod. That's the best Zod. He's great. You're the person who made me aware of hot toys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, dude. Ordered my first one. Absolute Batman last month. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, it'll take a while to come out. But when you get the notification that it's coming and you got to pay the rest of the deposit or whatever it is, yeah, it's exciting. It is one of those things that's like, it's weird. Like with hot toys, the Iron Man ones, they're heavy and you feel the weight and the price of them. And then some of the other ones, they're lighter, like Thrawn is very light. It's a very light toy. But when you get into it and you sort of realize how they're put together and how they're built and not to bend this too far or kind of how to manipulate them, they're so worth it. I mean, that absolute Batman looks amazing. It looks so good. That's absolutely worth getting. And for a first one, that's nuts. That's crazy. And the good thing is, like, if you get it and you feel any measure of like, oh, it's not quite what I thought it was, you've just got the one and you're not fucked. Whereas I have two, four, six, eight. Oh my god, I'm not counting. I've got like 32 of them, I think. There's a lot there. Fuck, man. I loved Zod when I was a kid and that show and watched season 9 whenever it was on reruns before school. And I was like 7 and it was peak, and that is fair. Absolute Batman was also my first Hot Toys I ordered, and now I have the strong urge to start buying more. Yeah, man. That's the issue. That's the issue. Would you like to see this just got released? I've been waiting on this for ages. The Scorch Xenomorph from Romulus. It looks fucking unreal. Super happy with what they've done. They've done, something I was really hoping for, where they've done like a swap out mouthpiece. So the older Alien figures, these bits here on the side of the jaw, they were like a rubber, and they broke for people over time. And this one also does have like a rubber, and you can open up the mouth. And I was like, oh, okay. But in the photos and everything, you could see that they also included um, a swap out mouthpiece that's hard plastic. So, oh fuck me. So if that ever breaks, I mean, not if that ever breaks, but if that ever wore, you have the other version that you can just swap out the mouth, which is cool. Let's see, it's rubbery. You can bring the little mouth out. That's cool. That's sick. Okay, that's weird. Uh, but then there's a swap out hard piece, and I think that's so cool that you can just swap that one out, put that one in. So it means you're never completely fucked, because some hot toys do have wear on them. They're getting better. They've started using leather and nylon. Dude, the newest Vader I got, the blue and red one, it's got a nylon suit, which means you can pose it however you want and it'll be fine. That's cool. Red and blue Tom Holland Spider-Man. Yeah, that is the first hot toy. And dude, that's the best. You've kept the promise. You only got one. Wow, dude, well done. Yeah, that red and blue one is fire. The base is so good. Yeah, cool. That is cool. One day I'll get a hot toy. Oh, that was sad. A waste of Sam Witwer. Oh, that was. Are you talking about Doomsday? Was he? No, he wasn't Doomsday. Was he in Smallville? Was Sam Witwer Doomsday? The Doomsday stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe I'm just conflating two things then. All right, I'm moving to Australia. Let's see the hot toys. Yeah, Callum Blue. Is that a hot take? I don't know. Season 9 is kind of a precursor. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That looks sick. Who'd win, Pennywise or Alien? Like, I mean, aliens can be taken down by I was going to say like by us, but I guess Pennywise got bullied by a group of people. Pennywise is, I guess an alien's not scared of Pennywise. But the thing is, people misconstrue. They think, something has to be scared for Pennywise to kill them. He can just kill people, dude. He can just kill, but he can just slice their head off. Like, if he wants to do that, that's fine. That guy in Welcome to Derry, like Miss Kirsch's husband, I don't think that dude was scared. He just turned around and he went, "What?" And then Pennywise just sliced his head in half. It's like, whoa. Mr. Harper, I'm very close to buying the Thing hot toy. Dude, get that. The fucking one from First Steps. That's the best. I was thinking about Eben Moss Backrack's Thing last night. Pause. That was fucking weird. Hunter's gonna message me about that one. He's just the best dude. I think he's the best in that movie of that cast. He is one to one just that character. He's like a little bit less like, "Hey, I'm fucking Ben Grit." Like comic book Ben is like very forthright and very strong. He's like, "Hey, do me," and then I'll punch you in the head. This Ben's a bit softer and a bit gentler, which is part of comic book Ben as well. He's just the closest. He's so good. Yeah. Yeah, cool. We need a remake of Freddy versus Jason. Freddy versus Pennywise. How's that even work? Dream versus reality bending. I don't even know how you make that work. Just Pennywise dream. I don't know how that works, dude. People smarter than me come up with that script. Yeah. Okay. All right. Last round of questions, and then let's end it there because this has been 2 hours, and that's unbelievable. So last round of things. I hear a story recording, not tomorrow, the day up. Hear a story in like 3 days. Hopefully a good episode. I'm going to ask people to help me out on the story with certain things, and I'm going to ban the other members from seeing the story because I don't want them to even know what I'm planning. I don't want them to even see what's going on. Yeah. All right. Hit me with a couple more, and then I'm done. This week did not get to like scrolling through articles and shit like I spoke about last week, but whatever, we'll get there. The fact that this is 2 hours is absurd. All right, if that's it, then that is it. I'm going to check the Discord and see what's going on there. People having a general chit chat. Hell yeah. No one liked me sending the link in the chat. That makes me very upset. Um, that's sad. Oh, unless it was the wrong link. Maybe it was. um, Comic Rex, cool. Love that people are using this. That is so awesome. Oh, and people are in D&D talk. It's not happening. We've cancelled it secretly. Oh, Adam. What? When do you think it Welcome to Dairy will come out as in season 2? Oh, dude, I don't know. Like, 2027 feels like generous. I don't know, man. We don't know. We haven't heard anything about it realistically. Yeah. Adam says, thanks for answering my question, which means I missed. Oh, no, I did answer it. Yeah. Thank you for the live stream and giving us a chance to interact with you. All good. I'll see you on the podcast. I'm going to try and export this version of the video instead of last week because the live stream last week missed out on like 150 views, and that makes me upset. It was split into 2 videos. Can you imagine the views? I could have lauded that over the other guys and been like, guys, look how many views I got. But oh well. To kind of piggyback, do you think It Welcome to Dairy can reach the heights of season 1? Because I thought the last 2 episodes were incredible and had me in tears multiple times. The last 2 episodes of Welcome to Dairy are the best thing to come from that concept. That's better than the book. It's better than the other 2 movies. Those last 2 episodes are amazing. I don't know if they can top that. I don't know if they can top that, those characters that they had. But I think they can do a good job. And I think they've just got to they're just going to go for it. They're just going to go for it. Just clown it up and just gruesome as fuck and have characters that are cool and maybe a little bit less dead air. I think they could realistically, they could build some things without maybe as many like, oh, why do we spend so much time on this thing? That's really it. When will Harper be in Welcome to Dairy? And conversely, when will Dairy be in Welcome to Harper? That unfortunately is going to be on the Patreon. So you're going to have to pay for that content. But yeah, it's going to be gruesome. Fucking hell.